So I want to read to you guys from Brett Steenbarger's book, Trading Psychology 2.0. Again, another best practice here from the end of his book. This is best practice number 25, keeping yourself in peak condition. I think this is very applicable to what we're talking about just now with James on the stream, but also what we've kind of spoken about all week, which is keeping yourself mentally, physically, spiritually aligned to your highest self in order to perform your best. So he goes on to say here, our next best practice in trading comes from this guy on Twitter and captures the idea of keeping yourself in peak condition in all areas of life. He explains, I found that it's crucial that I'm physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually healthy if I'm to take on the challenges of trading professionally. Here's how that's done. Physically, 30 to 45 minutes of high intensity exercise 5 to 6 times a week. Okay? Emotionally, making it a habit to meet friends or family for social gatherings on a regular basis. Good conversation is one of the best methods I found to reduce mental stress. Mental strength here. I try to practice trading techniques on multiple time frames. Some weeks I'll spend my time learning or reading financial statements and conference call transcripts with a focus toward long-term investments. Other weeks I'll test out correlations of short-term technical indicators. So keeping yourself mentally sharp is another best practice to keeping yourself, like I said, kind of aligned with your higher self. And then spiritually, I spend 5 minutes each morning on new things for which to be grateful. I've found helping others, especially young people, with positive thinking and life mentorship overall to be fruitful for my own spiritual well-being. Steenbarger says the key idea here is that it's not enough to reduce stress in order to be a peak performer in markets. Just as an athlete must be in superb aerobic and strength condition with continuous skill, practice, and work on mental sharpness, the successful trader draws on reserves from all areas of life. It's not difficult to see how routines could be captured in a checklist, keeping him aligned with personal best practices. Creating your own peak performance process checklist ensures that we sustain the energy and positivity to weather the normal ups and downs of trading. So it's really important that, I think from this at least, we take that we don't want to just get caught up in testing new strategies. That was only one piece of the 4 pillars, if you want to look at it that way, to living a well-balanced life, to keeping yourself aligned with, I keep saying, the higher self, your best version of yourself. Where traders and others typically fall short is by prioritizing their workloads and leaving time for peak conditioning to leftover moments during the day and week. By the time we hit those leftover moments, we generally lack the energy to be pushing our envelopes physically, emotionally, and cognitively. A distinct best practice is to prioritize our conditioning and make our workloads fit into that. If the quality of our effort follows the quality of the states we're in, then it makes sense to keep ourselves in top running condition. This enables us to get more done in less time. Race car teams realize that it is impossible to win without a quick and effective pit stop. If the car isn't maintained properly, it will be at risk of failing before the race is finished. The time we take for developing ourselves is our maintenance time. It is what enables us to fire on all cylinders throughout the competitive trading race. Short but sweet there with best practice number 25, again titled Keeping Yourself in Peak Condition, keeping yourself aligned with your higher self, the best version of yourself. So I would challenge you guys over the next 4 days. You have NFP tomorrow, which is not a great trading day, at least for the way that we trade. Plus you have the bank holiday, the US bank holiday on Monday. I challenge you to do things for yourself off the chart that will make you better on the chart. Take care of yourself physically. Take care of yourself mentally and emotionally. Call someone you love. Have a conversation with somebody. Everybody thinks of a friend. As soon as I say that, you know someone that you used to be tight with. You haven't talked to them in a while. Call that person. That conversation for 30 minutes can do much more for your brain than you would think it would do before you make that phone call. And then after, you're going to say, I'm so grateful that I made that phone call. And I think the gratitude practice that he mentions is there, whether it's working with young people or working with older people, whatever you do to find gratitude, I think that gratitude grounds us, and that grounding leads to more success. So whatever you need to do over the next 4 days to be grateful, whether you want to thank someone that's helped you get started in trading, you want to thank someone that supported you and your family along your journey in trading, have that conversation. Mentally stimulate yourself that way. And on top of that, remember I had Rolf on the stream 2 weeks ago, and he talked about reading books about things he doesn't even know anything about, because that curiosity can then flow and flourish in that unknown and in that new learning. And that curiosity and new learning spills over into our trading. So push yourself in those other areas. Don't get caught up over the next 4 days just looking at charts, trying to find the best strategy. Can I trade the Asfx systems? How do I do this? I'm watching Austin's YouTube. Don't get too caught up in that. Go read a book. Go talk to someone. Go physically move your body. Those things need to be well balanced or you're going to burn out. And that's the one thing that I have felt personally, and I don't want you guys to feel it too.